Hey everybody, welcome back to Horror Trans. My name is Stephanie Bree. I am a transgender woman and I talk about all things horror. And today I'm doing two videos for you. I'm doing more movies I will never review, and I've got a horror icons, a very special one, coming right after this video, so stay tuned. So I already did my list of the 5 movies or movie types of movies I won't do. And so I have that list on my document here so I can keep track of it so I can remember not to do those movies. There's one movie I put on that previous list that I am contemplating doing, but I'm not 100% I want to do it because if I do, that opens me up to doing other movies I said I wouldn't do. So bear with me. But number 5 on this list is the Troma films. This is all of them. I will not review any movie that was produced by Troma at all. I'm not a fan of these films. I have seen a significant portion of their library. I've seen at least 6 of their supposedly must-see movies. I hate them all. I am not going to subject myself to rewatching them to have them fresh enough on my mind to be able to review them accurately. I don't like them. So this is my review of the Troma films. However, I'm willing to make this concession. I will do bonus audio commentaries that I do on my Patreon. So if you go to patreon.com/Stephanie Bree, that's StephanieBri. If you go to my Patreon, and if I can get over $100 a month in Patreon, I will start watching Troma films as requested by y'all. But that's the only way. I'm currently sitting at $12 a month, so have at it, y'all. If you really want to see me review Troma films, that's the only way to, or watch, I'll say, Troma films. That's the only way I'll do it. Number 4 is a movie that I had on the list, but I took it off. And I took it off after doing some research and doing some, I don't know if I would say soul searching, but I decided I don't want to watch this movie. And it's Rosemary's Baby. So there's a couple of reasons why I don't want to watch this movie. The easy reason is I don't want to deal with a movie that deals with cults too much. I want to avoid those as much as possible. And I've already seen The Omen. I've already seen The Exorcist. And I don't know if I need to see another movie in that style. Which is my understanding is what Rosemary's Baby is. The other reason why I don't want to do it will play into some of these other films when I get to them here in a second. Is I was born in 1982. I do not really have much of an appreciation of shit that came out before the 80s. Very, very little stuff from the 70s and nothing older than the 70s. Hardly nothing, I should say. So I'm not really interested in watching movies that are that old. Because every time I do, if you've been paying attention to this channel, for the most part, I end up not liking it. And I don't want to sit through another movie I'm going to end up not liking. I have a pretty good barometer of what I'll enjoy and what I won't enjoy. And I have seen enough reviews and enough clips and heard enough people talk about Rosemary's Baby that I feel like it's a safe assumption this is a movie I'm not going to enjoy. So I'm not even going to bother with it. Number 3, I didn't know how to tackle this one. Number 3 is going to be sensitive. And my reasoning for not wanting to cover them is complex. And it's the Hammer films. This is point blank all the Hammer films. It would be easy for me to say they're old and I don't want to watch old movies. That's not true 100% because there are old movies I will watch and review for this channel. Certain ones that I have a strong feeling I may enjoy. Just based on the description, reading the back of the box of the VHS tape, I knew I wanted to watch Last House on the Left, and I enjoyed it. Obviously, I enjoyed Texas Chainsaw Massacre, The Omen, and The Exorcist, so, I'm not saying all movies before 1980 are rubbish, but the Hammer films are more complicated than that. I don't really know how to describe what I don't like about the Hammer, why I don't want to watch the Hammer films. I shouldn't say I don't like them because I haven't seen them. For starters, most of them, it's my understanding, most of them are more or less remakes of the Universal Monster films, which I'm not even that interested in. And it's a whole bunch of fucking Draculas. Just 10,000 Draculas. And I don't need to see another fucking Dracula. I've already seen Dracula, the original. I've seen Bram Stoker's Dracula from 92. I've seen Dracula 2000, which, holy fuck, I'm not wanting to talk about that movie. And I've seen some other interpretations of Dracula. So, yes, there are a lot of pre-70s movies on my to-watch list. A lot. Especially the classics, the black and white era. But the Hammer films in particular, I just don't think are going to appeal to me. I just don't think I'm going to enjoy them. And so I don't want to explore them. And I'm not really a big fan of vampires to begin with. So, I don't really watch a lot of vampire movies. Number 2 is a hard decision for me. While I do and will watch all of these movies, and I have them all on DVD, so I already own them. I own them because I'm a film student. I studied film in college, and I'm a horror fan, so these movies are significant to the development of horror as a genre. But listen, these movies have been talked to the point where you don't need me to recommend these movies. You either already bought them on somebody else's recommendation, or there's nothing I can do to persuade you to not buy them in the first place, no matter how much I do or do not enjoy them. So I will not be reviewing the Universal monster movies because there's nothing I can contribute to that conversation. If I happen to end up not liking one and I talk about it, it's going to piss people off. And if I happen to enjoy one more than I suspected I would, it's either going to surprise people or it's going to just play into I'm just going to end up saying what everybody else says about it, because what else can you say about Dracula or Frankenstein? That's not to say I won't review some remakes of some of these movies, because I already have, and I intend to further. There are some on the list. And I'm not going to do the Universal monsters as a whole, like in one video, like just talk about them. Maybe on the podcast I'll talk about them. But as far as actual rent or buy reviews, I'm not going to do it. Because like I said, I'm not going to talk you into buying a movie every other horror fan has already told you to buy. And I'm not going to talk you out of buying a movie the same. There's nothing I can say one way or the other to change your mind. So I'm not even going to try. There's nothing I can do. You've probably already got them in your DVD collection. They're probably one of the first movies you bought, most likely. I mean, most horror fans do. I have them in my DVD collection, if that says anything. Next up is actually two types of movies that are intersected. And I know this is going to bum some people out. I already know it's going to bum some people out because some of these movies have already been requested of me in comments. I'm not going to do any shaky cam movies, and I'm not going to do any found footage movies. So this means Cloverfield is out, The Blair Witch Project is out, and any other. If I find out a movie, and I will research. I do research the movies before I watch them. I usually read the Wikipedia article. Well, I don't read the plot synopsis, obviously, but I read a little bit on the Wikipedia article, and I usually check out the Rotten Tomatoes score before I watch a movie, just to have an idea of what I'm getting into. I'm not going to get into the particulars, but I get very car sick. Very fucking car sick. And these found footage movies make me dizzy, and they make me uncomfortable and nauseous, and I usually throw up. And not from the gore, just from the fucking shaky cam. It makes me sick. It makes me dizzy. I physically cannot watch found footage or shaky cam movies because they literally make me sick. Physically sick to watch. So I'm not going to ever watch The Blair Witch Project. I've never seen it in my life, and I never will. I will go my entire life having never seen The Blair Witch Project. And I never will.